From the Minnesota Twins Spring Training Complex in Fort Myers, Florida, the mighty Mussels take on the Lakeland Flying Tigers. Hello and welcome to the broadcast booth, everyone. I'm John Vitas alongside Andrew Pauling. And Andrew, finally, these teams were able to get on the field last night after 3 consecutive rainouts. It was a doubleheader. The team split the 2 games. Mussels getting a shutout in game 1 and a walk-off win. And then in game 2, Rickson Wingrove hit 2 home runs, but it wasn't enough as the Tigers earned the split.
It ended up being a 9-4 Tigers win in Game 2 of the series yesterday, but for Rickson Wingrove, he had 4 hits across the doubleheader that had exit velocities north of 100 miles an hour. 2 singles in Game 1, and then the 2 home runs in Game 2, as he had a real breakout performance for the Hammond Stadium crowd over the course of the doubleheader.
Yeah, Wingrove signed just a few weeks ago by the Twins after starting his year with the Long Island Ducks of the Atlantic League. Now, tonight will be the only 9-inning game of this series after the rain forced 2 doubleheaders and a cancellation. Charlie Soto will get the start for the mighty Mussels. He'll be opposed by Hayden Minton of the Flying Tigers.
And for Soto, he's trying to do the opposite of what happened in Lakeland in his start against the Flying Tigers last month. It was his worst outing of the season. He didn't make it out of the first inning. And for Minton, he tied a season high in strikeouts with 7 in his outing against the mighty Mussels, so he'll look to build on that performance. And for Charlie Soto, he's also been significantly better here at home over the course of the first half of the season.
Yeah, Minton was 74% sinker in his last outing, which was a successful outing, with the opponents have hit over 300 against him with all those fastballs in the zone. Now, the Mussels will send Walker Jenkins to center field for the first time since the injury on opening night. It'll be nice to see him kind of use the outfield range to his advantage in such a big park here in Fort Myers.
Yeah, it'll be great to see both Walker and Max Clark out in center field, so we finally get that battle in center field between 2 of the top 5 picks in last year's draft.
Yeah, and with Soto on the mound, it's 4 of the top 37 on the field tonight. It's time for our Don Mario Down on the Farm report as we check in with Hannah Jo Groves.
Thanks, guys. For today's Down on the Farm report, we are headed to Louisville, Kentucky, where the St. Paul Saints set a franchise record with 22 hits in their dominant win over the Louisville Bats. The Saints also tied a franchise record last night with 3 separate hitters having a multi-home run game, and get this, they were all former Mighty Mussels. But before any of that, in the top of the first, shortstop Brooks Lee, who played with the Mussels just a couple weeks ago, sparked the explosive offense with his first solo home run as a Saint to get the early 1-0 lead. The next inning is when first baseman Junior Severino crushed his first homer to right center, one of 2 home runs that brings him to 12 total on the season. Right fielder Matt Wallner blasted 2 home runs in 2 at-bats in a row, bringing him up to 13 this season, making him the home run leader on the Saints. And finally, third baseman Michael Hellman also added 2 home runs in the 5th and the 7th, bringing his total to 12 this season. The final score was 18-4, and the Saints will continue their series against the Bats tonight at 6:15. That was today's Down on the Farm report. Ask your seed dealer about Don Mario, the soybeans that are changing the game. It's about time for first pitch here at Hammond Stadium. Let's send it back to the guys in the broadcast booth.